time has come. The time has come. Hey everybody, it's Naya. Welcome back to Naya Reads a Smile. Thank you for gathering here today. I'm glad everyone is wearing black because unfortunately we have to go to a funeral today. Whose funeral? My own. I've been up till 4 a.m. okay? I am running on 2 cups of coffee, a shot of espresso, and just like the sheer willpower of needing to finish a book. What, like, just looking at it has snatched my soul out of my body. Halfway through this book, and I wasn't planning on filming a video because you know what? This is one of those books that I just sit down and then time disappears. Like, where did the time go? I don't know. Last night I started Blood and Honey by Shelby Maharin, and I know some of you guys are probably like, how are you holding that book? This book doesn't come out until 2 weeks. There is a God, and it is Epic Reads. Thank you so much. I literally owe Epic Reads my soul. One of my most highly anticipated books for this year. This book doesn't come out for 2 weeks, and I feel like I am committing a crime just owning it right now. Thank you so much to the team at Epic Reads, specifically Michael Booklion. He sent me a copy of this book in advance. This I don't think is an ARC. I think this is actually the finished copy. I started this book last night, or actually yesterday afternoon, but I had to finish working first before picking it up, and I just was like counting down the minutes that I could just sit down and get into my pajamas and start reading this. If you don't know what Blood and Honey is, I'm gonna take you back 12 months. Has it been a year? Blood and Honey is the sequel to Serpent and Dove by Shelby Maharin. You guys, this was my favorite fantasy of 2019. I'm pretty sure I did a reading vlog, so I'm gonna link it in one of the 2 corners if you guys want like the episode 1 of this 2-part series that'll hopefully be like a 10-part series, but I think this is only gonna be a trilogy, unfortunately. I devour fantasy on a daily basis, so it's very rare that I come across a fantasy book that just feels brand new. Serpent and Dove was that book for me in 2019. Like, I read it and it just felt like just this like ocean of new possibility that I had never read before. This book takes place in 17th century France, and we're following 2 characters. It is told from dual POV. You guys know any book told from multiple perspectives, especially when it's like the 2 love interests of the story and we're going back and forth between them. Like, in this world of Belterra, there are witches, there's witch covens, there's all sorts of different types of witches that do different sorts of magic, which is another amazing part of just this whole series. Is the magic was just amazing. The way Shelby created it was unique. And let me finish with the plot. So yeah, it takes place in Belterra. There's witches, but there's also witch hunters. The entirety of Belterra is run by the church. It's very religious, and in this church there are witch hunters, so young guys that are trained to hunt and kill witches. Okay, that sounds like it's been done before. It has never been done the way Shelby Maharin has done it, okay? So for anyone who's just, you know, feels like they don't want to read another witch book, just give this one a chance, because I promise you, it is not like any other witch book. This one just takes the cake. We're following 2 characters, Lou and Reed. Reed is a huntsman, and Lou is a witch that has run away from her coven and given up her magic and is living in the city of Belterra as a witch, surrounded by all these huntsmen and these people that want to kill her, but she's kind of in hiding. She is afraid of someone slash something that is far more dangerous than the witch hunters. Lou, who is a witch, is caught up in a situation and ends up having to marry Reed, who is a witch hunter, and he has no idea that she's a witch. And so this entire plot, it is definitely hate to love. I would say it kind of falls more into new adult. It definitely is hot and steamy and very detailed in certain parts of the book. With all of that said, we officially have the 2nd book. Like I said, it doesn't come out until September 1st. I'm currently actually reading 2 other books, which I have just put to the side because priorities. So yeah, I'm currently 200 pages into Blood and Honey, and it is just so, like, it is just as good, if not better, than Serpent and Dove. We pick up exactly where that book left off, which I'm not gonna tell you, but basically kind of everything has fallen apart for these characters, and now they are, I'm not gonna spoil it for you. This is not a spoilery review, so I'm gonna try and express my emotions without telling you what's going on. Yeah, hopefully this won't be confusing. Anyways, you guys know the deal. We're going to continue reading. Love about love. It makes characters do like the most tragic things. I'm in my kitchen. I needed a coffee break because these characters have just been putting me through it, okay? Like they have been crushing my soul. Also, this is a super cute reusable unicorn straw. We're not trying to kill the turtles over here. In the beginning of this book, right, there is a whole scene. Well, let me just like preface. Basically, our characters are like running away from these people that are trying to kill them. There's like actually a lot of people that are trying to kill them. They're not in like the safest situation right now. They have to kind of like keep their wits about them. Literally though, a scene, right, where this character explicitly tells them, do not go and do this thing. Because if you do this thing, X, Y, and Z is gonna happen and you're gonna put yourself in danger and you might die. A normal person would have been like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna heed that advice and not do X, Y, Z. What do our wonderful characters do? These characters that I love so much and I do not want to see die. Exactly the thing that they were told not to do. The lady could not have been more clear. She's like, you guys, you might die if you go and do this thing. No. And then they just go and they do that thing and they almost die. Anyways, Blood and Honey is amazing. Don't get me wrong, I still love these characters even when they don't make the best decisions. Almost at the halfway point right now. I needed to take a little bit of a break. Oh my god, wait, hold on.
Shorty came in with a style.
Do you love me? Do you need me?
What's poppin'? Brand new whip, just hopped in. I got options.
Ever since my last video, everyone's like, Naya, share your Spotify playlist. Listen, I'm afraid y'all are gonna judge me because I listen to everything. Like I have Afrobeats, K-pop, everything, like everything. I need to kind of go through my playlist. It is literally like 1,000 songs long, like a bunch of different Spotify playlists. I just have like a different one for each occasion. You know what I mean? Like I have my kitchen playlist and then like my shower playlist and then like my editing playlist, which is mainly like lo-fi music. I will go through them and then share them with you if you guys really want it, but just like be warned. Okay, so you guys, one of my favorite things about the first book and something that we still get in this second book is just amazing dialogue between the characters, especially Reed and Lou, and now we also have like Coco and what's his name, Bew I think is how you pronounce it. The banter between our two main characters, hilarious dialogue, which isn't the easiest to write, especially in fantasy books. It's like you want to make it sound natural but also want to make it still sound like they're in whatever world that they're in. It's the kind of dialogue where you can imagine the characters in front of you like just having that conversation or just going back and forth. It takes place in a very patriarchal society in which like women just aren't supposed to cuss and aren't supposed to, you know, be aggressive in any sort of way, and Lou is just the total opposite of that. She's just making fun of everyone and she's like cussing and she's just saying the most inappropriate things at the most inappropriate time. In this book, we really kind of go deeper into their relationship, kind of just really being who they are and also figuring out who they are, because there's certain aspects of certain characters that they just learned about each other. I'm trying to be as like vague as possible, you guys. So I'm really enjoying kind of seeing their relationship change in this book. It definitely does change. Hey guys! Okay, so it is the next day. Oh my god, okay, I am so nervous, you guys. I'm about to go into an Instagram live with Jennifer Niven. She wrote All the Bright Places. Actually, I think I have the book to show you. This book, it like holds a special place in my heart because when I first moved to the mainland, to Indiana like 6 years ago from the islands. All the Right Places is actually the first book where I got to meet the author in real life. It was the first book event I ever went to. I don't know if you can see this, but like she signed it and it was just like, oh my god, I was losing my mind. Ever since that event, me and Jennifer have been following each other, and we've kind of got to see each other grow over the past 6 years. First book she had released at that time, and I had just started my YouTube channel. I think I had only had it for like 2 months or like a month or something. It really wasn't that long. Jennifer messaged me and asked if I wanted to do an Instagram live with her. She does this sort of series on her Instagram called Niv Talks, where she interviews a different author or creator every week on a Wednesday. I asked if I wanted to be like a part of her talk, so she's gonna be interviewing me, which is crazy because the last time we were together, or when I first met her, like I interviewed her. I haven't talked to her in like over 6 years, or actually over 5 years, just about 6 years. It's gonna go well, it's gonna go well. I'm manifesting good vibes. Also, I'm wearing a turtleneck today and it was not my best decision. I'm kind of regretting it right now. Last night I only ended up reading 50 pages more of Blood and Honey, but okay, I don't know if I mentioned this yesterday, but this story, is that a spoiler? Basically, we have other creatures in this book now, or other like supernatural creatures. I don't want to say what kind of supernatural creatures, like witches, and then I am living and loving this book. My goal is to hopefully finish it today. I know I said that yesterday. I actually have quite a lot to do and get done today, so I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna do this Instagram live. I'm so nervous. I'm gonna record maybe a little bit of it, but yeah, I'm so nervous. Okay, no nerves, no nerves. Oh my gosh.
I'm so excited to see you.
I'm so excited to see you. Oh my gosh, I pulled your book off my shelf just to hold it up.
I want to, but like, I feel like we kind of started our journeys. Like it's
oh my gosh, I was gonna say the same thing. I feel like 5 years ago, this was your debut novel, right? I believe. Yeah, I don't know. I feel the same way. I'm just like, oh my gosh, like our journeys have kind of gone.
Look where we are. It's so exciting. I love what you do. I love what you do.
Thank you.
You, as you know, I hope. But like, I just love all that you've done, and getting to see what has happened with your career has been so amazing.
Like, likewise, I'm so excited for your new book, Breathless. It is going to be amazing. Guess who got packages? Hey guys! Okay, so it is Saturday. No, it's not. It's Sunday. I decided to spend the weekend with my sisters, so I went over to my dad's house, and you guys, let me show you this. I got the cutest pajamas. It says avocado on it, and it's just so cute. I had a package, or actually 2 packages I'm about to show you, that I got delivered to my dad's house. Thank you so much to Tor Publishing. I owe them my soul because they constantly send me the books that I'm most highly anticipating. Shauna Maguire is one of my favorite authors of all time. She wrote the Every Heart a Doorway series, Every Heart a Doorway, and then Down Among the Sticks and Bones, Beneath the Sugar Sky, In an Absent Dream. The last book I read that came out last year in October, I think, is Come Tumbling Down. I guess I just live under a rock because I had no idea that Shauna Maguire had another book in the series coming out, and thank you so much to the person who tagged me because I was losing my mind. I cannot describe how much this series means to me. In the book Every Heart a Doorway, we're following these kids that when they were young, a door opened for them and they were able to go to a different world. I always use the example of Narnia and the kids that got to go to Narnia. For whatever reason, whether they decided to leave or they got kicked out, they no longer are in that world and are back in the real world and just can't adjust to living in this world because it's not meant for them. Each of the books in the series, we're following a different character, a different kid that's come back from a different world, and the world they escape into usually fits whatever their personality is. Tor was so kind to send me the next book in the series, which is Across the Green Grass Fields. You guys, I have no idea which character we're following in this book, what this book's gonna be about. That's the like joy of her books, is that each book we follow a completely new character. Stories of each book do intertwine, and it's all kind of centered around this school called the School for Wayward Children. I have not read the synopsis. I know nothing about what character we're like gonna be following. I can kind of tell from the title, like we're gonna be in, I don't know, I'm just imagining like a farmland of some sort. Like, one of the joys of her books is just going into it not knowing what kind of world we're gonna go into or like what kid we're gonna follow. She also sent me another book which I'm so excited for, Master of Poisons by Andrea Harston, and I have never read anything by this author, but I have heard amazing things. There was a few other people I saw that had gotten a NetGalley arc of this, I think, so I've heard like some pretty good reviews. Award-winning author Andrea Harston weaves together African folktales and post-colonial literature into unforgettable fantasy. We're following two characters in this book, Djola and Ava. I don't know if you pronounce it Ava, that's how I'd pronounce it in Hawaiian, but I think it's Ava. Following these two characters, one's a spy master in an exile, and the other is training, she's a young woman training to be a powerful griot, so like a storyteller. Awash in the rhythms of folklore and storytelling and rich with Harston's characteristic lush prose, Master of Poisons is an epic fantasy that will leave you aching for the world it burns into being. I've been seeing this cover go around and I'm very excited to read this book. Also, I'm just like finally back in the fantasy mood. I feel I was in a bit of like a romance contemporary mood, but I definitely feel like I'm getting back into fantasy. Hallelujah! Oh my god, you guys, I know what book this is. This next book I have heard wonderful things about, Legendborn by Tracy Dion. This book we're following our main character. Her mother dies in an accident and she decides that for this next year of high school she wants to go to a completely different school, so she ends up going to UNC Chapel Hill. On her first day on campus, she ends up witnessing like a magical attack, so I'm guessing like some demon creature or something like that. She discovers at her school there's a secret society called the Legendborn, which are students that have magical powers that, you know, fight and kill these demons. After she witnesses this attack, the mages or the kids in the secret society try to wipe her memory, but it doesn't work, and she ends up finding out that she actually has powers too. It also says here that the Legendborn are descendants of King Arthur, so I'm guessing that's how they have their magic powers. I just finished reading Blood and Honey. Okay, I'm just gonna say, Shelby Maharin, her endings, the way she chooses to end her books, this one is just like, final thoughts on this book. A lot of times when reading fantasy books, especially like long series or trilogies, the second book in the series isn't usually my favorite one, just because you know, we're in this world, we're used to these characters, and you know, you don't have that like freshness that you do when you read the first book in a series and you're just being introduced to all these cool characters in this cool world and this new sort of magic. I can confidently say this is one of those series where I think I enjoyed the second book even more than the first book. We are introduced to more of the world and more characters, which, as you guys know, I love following books from multiple perspectives. The more the merrier. Like, I just want to see the world through as many characters' eyes as possible. Like, I just love that. In this book, we're still only following Reed and Lou, who are our two main characters, but we have all of these other characters that we're introduced to. The magic system just got like 10 times bigger in this book. We just got to explore so much of just the possibilities of magic, and Shelby really created a unique, I don't even want to say magic system, more so than just characters that wield magic differently. More than anything though, I enjoyed the deep dive into our two main characters. In the first book, you know, like I said, our two main characters, they're a witch and they're a witch hunter, and even though they've fallen in love and they care about each other, there's so much that is ingrained in them and so much that was taught to them. Have these characters that are trying to break out of their nature, if that makes sense. We get to read about that internal conflict for them, and even though they're in love with each other, it's like there's so much they still have to overcome and kind of just get over in their heads. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching and following along this crazy week. Until next time, keep reading, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye!